Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the Two Players Podcast, episode 56. We're going to be talking about some news and then games we've been playing, and then we're going to get into Kirby Star Allies. We're going to be talking about spoilers in that section to what spoilers there are. But yeah, so let's get into the first piece of news. So I think me and Damian both saw this coming, but Toys R Us officially is closing or selling all of their U.S. stores. So I have a story today because I actually went to the Toys R Us near us because they actually were closing, like having like the closing sale, which I was kind of surprised because I think there was like a huge outburst on social media that yesterday, Thursday, that a bunch of stores weren't having their closing sales. So ours was. So I was like, all right, let me go in there and, check it out. Everything was either 5 to 30% off. And nice. Most of the things were 10% off. And like there was a huge line there too. So like, what I'm into, like figurines and all that shit.
Yeah.
The games, I think, most of the games were 10% off. And that's not even close to what the Best Buy gives you if you do the Gamers Club Unlock, which is what I have. So I was like, I'm not touching that. And then consoles were like 5% off. I was like, I'm not touching that either. And then most of the figurines that I wanted were like 10% off. And on top of that, there was like barely anything there. And then there was a huge line. So I was like, screw this. I'm not buying anything here because I'm not waiting online for like, it's probably gonna be like half an hour for like one toy or whatever.
This is why they're going out of business.
I mean, yeah, it's like, why would you have a closing sale when everything's literally 10% off? Like most things are 10% off. I'm like, this is not even worth it. Like you're not even breaking the threshold as to where like Target or like even like Walmart. I like something like, let me go and do like a Funko Pop. So like, I'm pretty sure those were like 10% off. So $9.99 times 0.10 minus $9.99. All right, they're matching them, but like that's not worth it.
Yeah,
with that $8.99 price point, like what the hell?
Yeah, like when you're having a closing sale, you gotta go all out, Like they're still trying to be stingy about it, even though they're closing. So I'm like, what the hell, man? Might as well just put like 20% off. It's not like you're making any more money.
Like at least 20 to like 50% off on like most items or something like that. Like if like that's not a closing sale, like to be honest. And like supposedly the whole sale is supposed to go on up until the end of June. So, like, I have no idea on, like, if they're actually going to sell everything. They probably will because, it's, like, March now, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to, like, restock anything now. I think they're just selling the last of the stock, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, but still, it's like, I expect more from, like, a closing sale. But I was thinking about going towards the rest, too. I'm like, I should maybe have some stuff, but now that you tell me that, I'm like, that's not worth it at all, so.
Yeah, because, like, I just went there to the Best Buy to, get A Way Out and the Disaster Artist, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to my job because I need to go and do the bottle deposits or whatever for the bottles. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go do that. And then I saw signs all over the store, everything must go, closing sales. So I was like, all right, they are actually having it. And then I parked, and I was like, oh wait, it's only 10 to 30. Might as well go in now. And it's a big line, obviously, and I was kind of surprised by that line, but yeah, whatever. They're closing. It's a little upsetting, especially someone like me who idolized going there all the time. But much more recently, they've just not been doing all that well.
I'm going to miss it because, it was a good alternative to, like, I don't know, like Best Buy. If they don't have a thing, I'm like, all right, I'll just go Toys R Us. And, like for my Pro Controller, that's why I got my Pro Controller for my Switch. So it's going to be kind of sad that it's just not there. But it's also, like, they should have adapted way sooner. So it's kind of on them.
And they whatever.
Yeah, now they're just dead because they're selling things for like, oh, it's 5% off. I'm like, all right, guys, like, just die. All right, so Sonic Mania Plus has been announced, where you could play as Mighty and Ray. It's also going to come with a new game plus mode and some other stuff, like some like art books and stuff. Oh, well, it's coming with a physical edition too. It was only released digitally. Now you could buy it as a physical copy, and it's coming out in summer.
Yep. I think this is pretty cool. I might buy it for the Switch version, just because I don't have it on the Switch, so maybe I'll do that. But all of the other extra stuff, Mighty and Ray being playable and all that good stuff, I think is very cool for them to do. Because I know that they wanted Sonic, or a lot of fans wanted Sonic Mania to come out as a physical release. So instead of them just, packaging it regularly, they're adding all this stuff on top of it. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the Switch cover, it has a reversible cover, and it could be like a Genesis like box art, and that's really cool, as you can see in this picture. But with the 2 new characters, it's kind of sad they're not adding new zones or anything, but the 2 new characters are pretty fun because it's always fun to go back to Sonic games and play as like Tails and Knuckles, and they're actually giving like Mighty like screen time because he was only in like 1 game. So I'm glad like he's getting more screen time, which is cool. I actually have no idea where Ray was from. Like, was he also Chaotix? I have no idea.
I think it was like an old Sonic game where it was like Sega Sonic and like it was Sonic, Mighty, and Ray or something like that. I'm not. I mean, I'm a Sonic fan, but I'm not like that like deep into the like past games.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it's cool. The new game plus also sounds pretty fun. Again, I'm just disappointed there's no new like zones or anything, but. You know, this is cool. I probably won't buy the physical copy, but I'll buy the DLC when it comes out.
Yep. It's a pretty cool thing that they are doing this as a whole.
Oh, yeah, there was also, before we move on, it was also like a teaser for like something, a new Sonic R or something like that. I just remembered right now.
There was some sort of like new teaser for a game and like everyone's memeing it or whatever. I have no idea what they're doing. It's probably a new racing game because, you know, that R or whatever, so... we're just gonna have to wait and see because they didn't really give us much other than that. So
yeah, it was just a small teaser.
Yeah, it's just all speculation at this point. Next piece of news is that there was a new Avengers Infinity War trailer. So we pretty much just got more info as to like what the plot's about and like exactly what's going on with our heroes and a couple new jokes. I really do like Peter's line at the end. He's like, "Oh, we're using our made-up names, so I'm Spider-Man."
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, it was a pretty cool trailer.
It was mostly like a hype trailer. Like, it was pretty hype. Like I was watching that, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be good. So it was just like a lot of fighting in there and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be a good movie. I know people are tired of the whole Marvel stuff, but like, you know, this is hype. Like, let me have this, okay? It's gonna be cool. It wasn't much though. It was just like mostly just fighting and stuff like that, just to get you hyped up. And it's gonna come out really soon, like next month, Ferrari.
We're actually almost a month away. It's March 23rd right now, so 1 month and a couple days. So
yeah,
pretty close.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so Deadpool 2 also got a trailer recently. I think like yesterday. I think.
Yeah.
So this trailer is also pretty good. A lot more jokes and stuff like that. Some good looking action they have in there too. Like there was some cool moves that Deadpool did. Like the dude like shot his hand and he like shot him back through like the hole in his hand. That was cool. And the jokes are also pretty good. Like I laughed a lot with the other the other mutants who were recruiting. So yeah, you guys have to have enough appeal to last like 10 years. And that's pretty good. But
yeah, it was a pretty good trailer. You know, it's coming out in May, right?
May
18th. Yes, May 18th. So I'm just excited to go and see it because seeing the first one in theaters was definitely very fun because the whole crowd or like audience around you was laughing at the same jokes you were. So I wonder exactly what kind of humor they're gonna hit us with, and
I can't wait for the kids to be in this movie too, like in the audience. Like, come on, guys, don't see the giant R rating.
Yeah, because this movie actually has a budget, so we'll just have to go and see exactly what kind of action and all that stuff they have. So I'm just very
apparently the director for this movie also directed John Wick 2, so that explains why the action looks a lot better. Like the first one had good action, but this one looks pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We have one last thing to quickly talk about is that Nintendo is doing a Smash Bros. 2018 sort of like invitational during E3. So I would assume during E3 we're gonna get some gameplay.
Yes.
Or maybe even before then, because it's gonna be a little weird. First time seeing it ever. It's at this tournament. So.
Yeah, Reggie's gonna kick our ass. No, but I think they are gonna do like some type of reveal trailer before this thing happens. Maybe even before E3. Like, I'm not too sure. Yeah. But this is pretty cool. Like, they did the same thing with Smash 4, and I think Splatoon's also gonna get like a tournament. But It's gonna be really cool to see like all these characters in action to see if it is a new game or not, or if it's a port. But again, I'm leaning more towards new game because they're really hyping it up. So it's like it's probably is a new game. So and hopefully they show more new characters. Like Inklings are probably gonna be playable in that invitational. So I'm hoping for like maybe one more new character, like Arms Man, I guess. I don't know. But it's gonna be cool. Like I like even though it was really cheesy, the first invitational for Smash 4, it was still fun to watch. So this is probably gonna be equally as fun. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Especially since I think the Smash 4 scene is a lot more fleshed out, I would say, because like the last one they did for Smash 4, I didn't know like most of those players, but now
I didn't know Zero. Like I didn't know who he was, but now
same. But now everyone's sort of bigger. They're much more well known around the scene, so it's definitely gonna be very interesting to go and see all those players. Maybe some Melee players will be thrown in there as well. Because this is just a fun little invitational to show off the game, in a way. So.
Yeah, I'm all about it. It looks really cool.
All right, so now we could quickly get into the games we've been playing recently. So I have some movies I want to talk about, so I'll let you go first, Damian.
Okay. I have been playing Vermintide 2, which is basically Left 4 Dead, but with like rats. And I played the first game, and it was good. But I'll say this game is just extreme, like just way better. Basically just Left 4 Dead, but you have classes, you can level up, and you have loot. And that's basically what it is. Like if you play Left 4 Dead, it's exactly the same thing, except you have like abilities and stuff. Every time you beat a level, you get loot, so your character gets stronger, and then you can move on to the different difficulties and stuff. And I think that's just way more addicting and fun to play than Left 4 Dead, because with Left 4 Dead, all your characters are the same, and you never you don't have any progression in that game. So once you do the levels, it's like, okay, I guess we could do them on hard, and then like once you finish it on hard, like I had no reason to play Left 4 Dead anymore. I guess you could play the PvP, but that was about it. With this game, it gives you like a nice like sort of like loot treadmill, and some people are against that, but I think for this game it works, since going through the harder levels does like make the game more fun and stuff like that. Since the game is difficult even by itself, like I played normal mode and got my ass kicked for the first mission. Like I couldn't beat it for 2 hours. It was insane. I'm like, this is impossible. But once you start getting some gear and stuff, you feel a lot better about yourself. So you move on to the next difficulty to get better loot, and then you get your ass kicked again. Like it's a fun loop. I like it a lot. The melee combat is extremely good. Like you can swing, obviously with the left click. You could do a sort of like a heavy swing that pierces armor and that kills a bunch of rats. And you want to make sure to use that piercing thing for armored units, since you can't sort of pierce the armor with just regular attacks. You have to use that charge up attack. But you also leave yourself vulnerable to attacks. So you really got to time that stuff perfectly. But there's like a bunch of other rats surrounding you with that one big armor guy. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff you had to do. You could also like parry, like you could block and then like press left click while blocking to do like a parry attack, and you could like sidestep. It's just a lot of stuff. I've never seen like such a robust melee combat in a first-person shooter. Like it's really fun to use. The abilities are also really nice. It makes every person feel different. Again, not like Left 4 Dead, where it's like you're just a dude and you have a gun and a med kit. And this one, you could be like some wizard person and you have like fire, or you could be like a dwarf and like you could have like a shield and like do like some shouts and crap like that. It just makes all the characters way different, and it's fun to play each different character. But I'm enjoying it a lot. The game runs a lot better than the first one. I remember having a lot of trouble running the first game because it wasn't really that optimized. This game seems to be optimized really well. And my PC isn't the greatest anymore. Like I have like a 960 now, and it's game kind of dated. But this game runs totally fine on this, and it wasn't like that for the first game. So they really did a good job with the optimization in this one. But yeah, it's just a great game. If you like Left 4 Dead, just get it. It's extremely fun. I like it a lot. I've also been playing Fortnite a little bit. It's still a good game. I still like the weekly challenges from the Battle Pass. It gives me a reason to go back and play some more and just, play the game because it's fun. And yeah, I just like Fortnite. It's crazy how big this game has blown up over the past few weeks. Like now it has a mobile port, which I don't really care, but it's still insane that the game is just this big. Like I've never seen a game get this big in a while.
Cross-platform, I think, is very cool.
Yeah, cross-platform is also there, which is always nice. Like that's good for any game. You know, obviously not the companies; they don't want that, but it's good. It's good for the consumer, which is the more important for us. And Final Fantasy 15. I was playing that. I was almost done with the game. Then I got a game-breaking bug where I couldn't continue because I didn't get a main quest. So I'm pretty upset about that. But yeah, besides that's all I've been playing. Besides Kirby, which we will talk about after Travis talks about his stuff. Right.
So back to Fortnite.
Yeah.
I've been playing. I've been getting better. Like, to be honest, I've been getting a lot better.
You've been getting more kills?
I've been more accurate with my shot. I'll say.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And building is a lot easier now that I follow Myth. You know, he's like the
I know. Yeah.
TSM Pro, and I do his key bindings, but like slightly modified for my taste. So. But yeah, that game, I love playing squads or duos because, you know, like, I'm not that great. So when you're playing with someone else, you know, they could help you with your mistakes and when you mess up and stuff like that. So, and I just think it's a lot more intense when there's, like, you know, a whole squad that you have to kill or whatever. So, it's definitely very, very fun. But I think they just released a new shotgun. One thing about this game that I really don't like is that they just keep updating, like, constantly. And, like, you can't really, like, soak in, like, certain things, and you have to, like, constantly update the game, too. So...
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like, it's going to get way too bloated with weapons. I think they should add some other stuff that aren't, like... Because, like, most of the new weapons they add are just kind of useless. Like, no one really uses them. People still use, like, a pump shotgun or assault rifle.
The pump's still too good. Like, the hand cannon or, like, the Desert Eagle, or whatever you want to call it, basically... that gun is very inaccurate, but if you land it like one-shots people. So like that's just a weird gun to have to even just like carry around and like try to use for yourself, because like sometimes when you hit it, it's like, oh shoot, you know, I headshotted that guy and I one hit him, or you're aiming right at him and you miss. So but yeah, like people are still using like the older stuff, like the minigun. Like whenever I see that, I'm like, I'll pick it up if we're like, you know, late into the game, but like if it's like early game, it's like it's pointless.
It's like a problem with these games. Like same thing with Overwatch is where the game already had the base items which are really good because they're like, you know, that's an assault rifle, or like, oh, this is like a rocket launcher, or this is a shotgun. It's the same thing with Overwatch where you have like a pure hero, like Mercy's a pure healer. And then when they release new heroes, you can't really make another pure healer because you already have Mercy, right? So you start releasing really weird heroes that don't really fulfill that role. Like the new hero that came out, Bridget or whatever her name is. She's like a healer tank thing, but it's like she's fun to play, but it's like I don't see what's the point of her in any team comp. Like it just doesn't make sense. It's like the same thing with Fortnite. It's like the more stuff they add, the more it's like this doesn't make sense. Like why would I ever use that when I could just use an assault rifle or something? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it just gets kind of messy.
But yeah, Fortnite's still fun though.
It's still great. I love it. So
obviously been playing League. It's been a bit of a struggle for me, you know, trying to do school and all that stuff. But we're on spring break now, so I get more time to play that, hopefully. Yeah. I watched 2 movies. One's in theaters right now, Love, Simon. It's pretty much like a modern-day romance film, kind of. It's very good, actually. It's just that, you know, the character's obviously gay, you know, he's closeted, and, you know, he starts this relationship with someone online that goes to his school. It's just that he doesn't know who that is, and they don't know who he is. And, you know, obviously as the story unfolds, you'll see how, you know, his secret comes out and all this stuff. But yeah, it's a very good movie. I highly recommend it, even if you're gay or not, like whatever your sexual orientation is, it really doesn't matter. Like you could go into this movie and appreciate it as a coming of age sort of story. So I really did like that. And then I watched Inside Out because it was like very cheap at my job. For some reason, it was like $10, and I was like, I'll buy that. And I just watched it, and it is pretty good. It definitely goes into on how, you know, like it's sort of like you need a balance of things in life. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
At the end of it. So, but yeah, that is a very good movie as well.
Yeah, I like it because it teaches kids, like, hey, like, sadness is okay. Like, don't just be happy all the time. But I think, I don't know if I talked about it here, because I think it came out 2016 or 15, I can't remember. But, yeah, I basically had the same opinion. It was like, you know, it's okay to be sad, and, like, you know, you don't have to be happy all the time. And I think that's a good message for children. So yeah,
Because being happy all the time and then you don't know how to handle the sad times.
Yeah. It's like I like that message a lot.
That's how life goes, kids.
Basically, you're prepared to be sad a lot. It only gets worse from here.
Yep. But let's talk about Kirby. So both of us finished it. There's gonna be spoilers here to those that don't want to be spoiled from Kirby. Whatever the final boss is or whatever. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, what do you think about the whole like star ally sort of like gimmick where you could befriend these enemies and they're on your team or whatever? Like, what did you think about that mechanic?
I liked it. I think it was better than like Triple Deluxe's like, oh, you have a suck power, but it's not as good as like Robobot's mechs, because the mechs are just really cool. The start, like they're mostly just there. Like they kind of destroy a lot of the puzzles if you play solo. It's not like the puzzles are hard anyway, but when you get to a secret room, they kind of just do it for you automatically. So it's okay.
I know what you're talking about. Because, like, on stream, when I was playing it, I'm like, I want this sword ability. And then, like, they just kill him instantly. I'm like, God damn it, guys. And then I walk back, and then I try to do it again. And then he dies again because my teammates keep, like, killing him. So, yeah, they are very aggro.
They are extremely aggro. And it does make bosses kind of like a cluster. Like, you just can't see anything.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like really hard to dodge anything when it's like a bunch of project. Now I don't know why this game is 30 FPS, by the way. Or would they have to lock it to 30 FPS? Because with all those things going on screen, this is a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I thought it were fine. Like it wasn't. It didn't blow my mind. Maybe if we played co-op, maybe it would be. Like, I'll have more fun with it. But like just like as a single player Kirby game, it was fine. Like it didn't bother me that much. I thought.
What did you think about the combination of like power ups? Because I felt it to be very underwhelming. Like I thought it would be like a much bigger thing, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. Like some abilities are really cool with them. Like Ninja and Wind is really cool. What else is really cool? There's some ones that really change the abilities, but most of them is just like, oh, you got lightning on your sword now, or you got fire.
Yeah, it's like nice flame sword we got here.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the complexity like 64 was, where you could combine things and it makes a totally different thing. Like you combine fire and like rock and get like a lightsaber or something. Like that doesn't exist in this one, which is kind of sad. I didn't really expect it to be as fleshed out as 64 was, but it was a little more underwhelming than I thought. It was mostly just like you get like a damage boost and an elemental like thing, and that's about it.
Or like use it to like solve a puzzle.
Yeah, or use it to solve puzzles and stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't as big of a feature as I thought it was going to be. I thought what new abilities? It was like spider, cleaning. And
spider was cool. I really
Spider
liked
was
Spider.
cool. I like Spider a lot. Cleaning was actually fun. I didn't expect cleaning like because I play a lot. I play like every mainline Kirby game, and those like broom guys are always just like a filler enemy. Like just suck it up and throw it out. And I'm like I sucked it in, and then like I absorbed it. I'm like, what? That's an ability now? Because I wasn't paying attention to like the pre-release stuff, and that was pretty a happy time for me. But yeah, that was cool. I thought the abilities were cool. There was also like Festival, which is another like nuke ability, which is fine. I'm trying to think what else. I don't think there was any. Well, yeah.
Did you use any of like the Dream Allies or whatever?
Yeah, I use I use Spear Waddle Dee and I didn't really use them too much.
Yeah, same. At first I was like, I'm gonna go back and get them, but I was like, man, it's like too much work. Like, all the Waddle Dee guy is he's just spear, and then King DDD's just hammer, and then Meta Knight's just sword. So I was like, I don't really need to go back and get these guys,
Yeah, so the DLC that adding looks cool since they really look different. They have like different movesets from just being like spear, sword, and hammer. So that's cool, but another thing I was kind of disappointed with this game is there was only like one main collectible, which was like the big puzzle piece.
Oh yeah, the puzzle pieces, and like they don't tell you how many there are in a level either. So like you're kind of just going on with the level,
Yeah, and they're also like really easy to find. Like I didn't miss a single one. Like 100% of that game without even like noticing that I did. Like I got every single puzzle piece in Big Switch without even trying. Like it was pretty. Usually they're really hard to find. Like Return to Dreamland, Triple Deluxe, and Robobot. Some of them were pretty well hidden. Like I had to go back and find them again. But this game, I didn't have to do any of that. I just completed it like straight through, and like it was pretty straightforward. It seems to be like the easiest Kirby game, if I'm being honest, too.
To be honest, I missed a couple of them. But yeah, like this Kirby game, it just feels like, it's just another Kirby game. Like that's all it really felt to me. Like some of the new abilities are cool. Like we said, Spider was cool. I thought Artist was pretty nice.
Oh, Artist was cool. Yeah, that was a cool one.
Staff was, okay.
Staff is OP as hell, man. Like it's so good. Like for no reason. I now I'm remembering them. Yeah, that's a really OP one. But yeah, go ahead. So.
I think Festival was a new one.
Yeah, Festival was new. This is a Screen Nuke one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that those are really the only new ones according to this Kirby wiki. But yeah, like the game just felt like, another Kirby game to me. At least with Planet Robobot, it was different with the mechs, but like with the Star Allies, it's just multiplayer.
Yeah, it's the most pure Kirby game I played in like a while. Like Return to Dreamland was like pretty pure too, which you have the big abilities and that's about it. Yeah, this one's also like really pure, like it's just like straight up, just like a Kirby game, and like it's okay. Like I think I still like this more than like Triple Deluxe. I'll probably put like I'll probably like my tier list for the newer Kirby games that came out was probably like Robobot, Return to Dreamland, this, and Triple Deluxe. Yeah, but it's good. Like I think that's like, if they make a second Kirby game for the Switch, I think it's gonna be great. But this one was just a little like, yeah, it's Kirby.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel as well.
And I love Kirby, so.
Yeah, same. The final boss, I thought was very underwhelming because you're just mashing the button over and over again. Yeah, it's not much.
It was basically the Dark Ganon fight from Breath of the Wild. It was exactly like that. It was like that, exactly like the same underwhelming thing, except it has multiple phases, which makes it a little more hype and cool because at least it's not as anticlimactic as the Ganon fight in Breath of the Wild. But this one was still like. Yeah, that was the thing. Most Kirby final bosses are pretty hard too, so it's kind of like weird. Yeah. So
the phase before the actual like final boss, that guy I thought was kind of challenging at first.
Yeah, that guy was pretty good. Yeah.
But the actual final boss was just like, whatever.
Yeah, it was mostly like a hype thing, like go in your star and just start blowing the dude's weak points, and that's about it. Like he looked cool, and it was a cool looking thing, but that was about it. So.
Did you play any of the mini games or whatever?
I want to talk about. I'm not counting the two modes, but I'm gonna talk about those in a second. Like the two modes after you beat the game. The two mini games suck. Like they're really bad. Like
which mini games again?
Like the you like chop a tree and like you like hit like a meteor as like.
All right. The meteor one sucks. I think the chopping tree one would be fun with friends. Like 100%.
Yeah, that'd be fun with friends. Like it's like that Pokemon minigame from Pokemon. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. But just compared to the 3DS games where it had like Robobot, especially had like the Kirby Clash or whatever, and like the puzzle one. Those are really cool because they're like the own actual little games in there, and they actually made them into actual games later. And they were pretty fun distractions for like 2 hours. They were pretty fun. This one is just like, you play it for like 2 seconds if you don't have friends. And it's like, all right, that was okay. So that was pretty depressing. But the two side modes are pretty cool. The guest star, whatever.
Yeah, the guest star where you play as like one of the abilities and you sort of have to like speed run the level almost.
Yeah, and like you could like level up certain things, like you get like attack hearts and like health hearts and like speed hearts. Yeah, and, like levels them levels them up until 5, and then you have like max stats and you can just wreck a boss. That's fun. I do like that. So like I just went back with some of my favorite abilities and started doing that for a little bit. It's also gonna be
boss rush mode.
Yeah, the arena, like in every Kirby game, which is always annoying as hell to do. I haven't even touched it yet. I need to beat the the mega difficulty because you could fight. I actually don't know. You fight Galactonite or not Galactonite in the other mode. Never mind. In the true arena thing, it's just annoying. Like but that's always like the Kirby thing where it's like, you have to beat this or else you're not a true boy. So I need to do that eventually. But it's a really typical Kirby game. It has like the New Game Plus mode, the arena, 2 side modes, and that's it. Like it's like the most like Kirby of Kirby games. Like it's weird.
The most standard Kirby game so far.
Yeah, and I'll say it was fun. Like I enjoyed my time with it. But it's still like I liked it, but like it's like not for not for $60. I didn't pay for it. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, man, no problem.
But I would have bought it anyway. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. This game just felt very standard. I was just expecting more from the combination of abilities. Like, that's all I really wanted was just, like, to go back to sort of, like, that 64 where it was, like, super cool to combine abilities. And then I quickly realized it was just, you hold your sword up and then the flame guy just gives you more damage.
Yeah, I was really expecting more from that, too. But, it was just mostly just like, hey, your weapon has an elemental thing now. Yay. So... Yeah, that was kind of disappointing, but it's like a 7 out of 10. Like, it's good. Wait for a sale. Like, I know Nintendo games never go on sale, but if you could get this for like $40, like what it should be, then yeah, you should get it.
Definitely agree with that. So, is there anything else you would like to add, Damian?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, that is the end of the Two Players Podcast, episode 56. We will see you guys 2 weeks from now with the next episode.
See ya.